Hey guys, Dustin here, CEO of 630. Welcome to the Body Fit video for the Reach Your Destination. Today, we are going to custom fit the Reach Your Destination to women height 5 feet to 6 feet. We're going to show you the specific adjustments we make for their body so the bike fits their body perfectly. So we want you at home to be able to match their body to your body so you can make these adjustments also. We're going to tell you their inseam, their arm length, the seat adjustments, and the stem adjustments we make. We're going to start at 5 feet. Here we go. Before we jump into showing you how we adjust our riders, I wanted to explain how we measure for arm length and inseam. So let me show you how we do this. So Cindy, if you could put your arm up and put it nice and straight. So we basically from the top of the shoulder, we put the tape measure there, and we measure to where the wrist basically connects to your hand, like the end of the wrist. We're going to pop up an image right after this too, which will kind of show you. So in this case, we're going to put it top of her shoulder, measure to the wrist. It's 21 inches. Now for the inseam, you're going to stick the tape measure right inside your leg to the highest point of where your leg attaches to your body, or your hip more or less, or in your to your body. So if you want to stick the tape measure in there, and then you measure down to the ankle. So she's going to hold that. I'm going to bring it down basically right to where your ankle pops out, and that's 28 inches. So obviously it's not an exact science when you're measuring yourself, but being generally speaking within the ballpark will be good enough for measuring for our types of bikes. We're starting with Brenda. Brenda's 5 feet tall. She has a 21-inch arm length and 25-inch inseam. Brenda, if you want to hop on, we'll see what we need to do to adjust to fit your body. So we currently have the seat all the way down, and you can see it's actually great for her. Good leg extension, not hyperextended, but good bend. Put your foot on the ground. And you can see she's up on the pad of her feet, which is exactly what we want to get as much, to get maximum efficiency on the down pedal, but still safe. Handlebars are a little bit high. You can see her wrists are a little bit kinked upward. So let's go ahead and lower this down. There we go, much better. Okay, perfect. So now her wrists are nice and straight, nice bend in the arm, her back is totally upright. Again, we're adjusting for comfort. This is exactly what we want to release all tension off the joints. How's that feel?
Great.
Cool. So basically, if you want to hop off with Brenda, it's very simple. We just have the stem and the seat all the way down. Now, Brenda's 5 feet tall, the 25-inch inseam. Based on looking at her, I would say somebody with a 24-inch inseam at 5 feet tall could still maybe fit, but it really depends on your comfort zone. I would say 24.5-inch inseam at 5 feet, it would definitely work. You're going to be up on your toes a little bit. But if you're below 24.5-inch inseam at 5 foot tall, it's going to be questionable. Call us and we can talk more about it and help size you. So there you go, all the way down for Brenda. It's a fit. Let's move up to our 5'1" rider. Now we're here with Maria. Maria's 5'1". She has 19-inch arm length and 26-inch inseam. So if you want to go ahead and sit on the bike, and let's adjust it so it fits you. So we have the seat all the way down right now. And you can actually see, go ahead and sit back on the seat as much as you can. Yeah, okay, so you can actually see that this may be too low for her. If you want to put your foot on the pedal, the ball of your feet, just like that. Yeah, that's actually a little too cramped, too much leg bend. So that's great. You can see the Reach Your Destination actually has a really wide variance of adjustment. So if you want to hop off, and we'll just raise this up maybe about an inch or two. Go ahead and try that. Okay, go go ahead and sit down. Okay, and put your foot on the ground. Okay, we put it a little too high. Let me bring it down just a smidge. Okay, I think that's a lot better. Okay. Okay, go ahead and try that. Perfect. So she's up a little bit on the balls of her feet. I like that for this style bike better. We could maybe lower it down a centimeter. It'd be up to her when she gets it home. You know, you can do those fine adjustments. But in more of a performance-oriented bike like the Reach Your Destination, you do want to get a decent leg extension so you can really pedal hard, push down, tackle hills, gain some speed, things like that. So yeah, if you want to go ahead, sit back as much as you can on the seat, put your foot on the pedal. Okay, so the one thing is you can see her arms are a little bit stretched. We can try to bring them back just a touch to tilt them towards her body. Okay. How's that?
Nice.
Better? Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. So just by tilting it down to her a little bit, we brought them into her body a little bit more, leaves, you know, her elbows not quite as tense, not quite as much pressure on there. So there we go. Maria at 5'1", 19-inch arm length, 26-inch inseam. It's a definite fit. If you want to hop off, I'll take some measurements. So on the stem, we actually have the stem pretty high up. We've got that raised 4 inches. And on the seat, we've got it 2 1/4 inches. All right, let's move up to our 5'2" rider and see what we need to do to adjust for her. We now have Desiree, who's 5'2". She has a 21.5-inch arm length and 28-inch inseam. Desiree, if you want to hop on, we'll see what we need to do. So Desiree has a little bit longer of an inseam, so I can see already her feet are very flat on the ground, so we're going to need to raise the seat up. So if you want to hop off. So let's try it right about there. Okay, give that a try. Too high. Okay. Okay, no problem. We'll lower it down. Okay, try that. Okay, there we go. So that looks great. She's up on the pads of her front of her foot. Put your foot on the pedal for me. There you go. Good leg bend. Not overextended, but that's great bend for efficient pedaling. In terms of the handlebars, we definitely need to raise them up to just take some tension off her arms. So let's bring it up here. Try that. Okay, that's good. Oh, sorry. Okay, just relax your arms a little bit. There you go. So when you can kind of see, just relax. It lets the tension come out of the elbow and the wrist. And it looks really good. How's it feel? Yeah. You can see she still has an upright ride. And her arms are not overextended, a little bit of a bend. That's great on this bike. Again, this bike is geared more towards performance. It's called Reach Your Destination, but we still want to be comfortable. So she's still in a very comfortable riding position. All right, if you want to hop off, we'll take some measurements. So we've got the stem raised 3 1/4 inches. And we've got the seat raised 2 1/2 inches. So it's a definite fit for Desiree at 5'2". Let's move up to our 5'3" rider. Now we're here with Amanda. Amanda's 5'3", and she has a 22-inch arm length, 30-inch inseam. Let's see what we need to do to adjust for her. If you want to hop on. Okay, actually it looks pretty similar to our 5'1" rider. She's up on the balls of her feet. So she's a little bit, move your foot back just a little bit. She's got a lot of leg bend in this position. Put your foot down again. Let me just take a look. but standing over it, she's pretty high on her toes. So I'm going to leave the seat there, actually. I think we could get it up a little bit for her to have a less of a bend while riding. But in terms of balance and things like that, for safety and comfort, I'd rather that she be a little closer to the ground so when she gets off, she can balance a little better. The handlebars, I think we should just adjust up a touch. Like that. Go ahead and grab on. Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, there we go. So you can see her arms are nice and relaxed, back is upright. She's up on the ball of her feet, posture's great. It looks like a definite fit to me. So if you want to hop off, I'll let them know the measurements. I can already tell you on the stem, it is 4 inches up, but we'll just go through the motion there, 4 inches. And on the seat, we are at 2 1/4 inches. All right, let's move up to our 5'4" rider and take a look what needs to be adjusted for her. We are with Michelle now at 5'4". She has a 21-inch arm length and 27-inch inseam. One thing to note is actually Michelle, who's taller, has shorter arm length and shorter inseam than our 5'2" rider, Desiree. So let's go ahead and see how it fits for her, and also makes us remember that inseam is really important to the fit. Okay, cool. So you can see we actually have the same adjustment right now as our 5'2" rider, I remember. And this is actually a little too high for her. She's a little bit up on her tippy toes. So it's just interesting how it adjusts between the different heights. So if you want to hop off. Okay, so I'm going to lower it just a touch. That should be good. Okay, try that. There we go. So she's still up on the pad of her feet, but that's actually great. That's going to give her ample leg extension. Can you put your foot on the pedal? Perfect. So good leg bend. She's going to be able to get great thrust on the down pedal. We could maybe raise it just a little, but I think this is okay. Again, she could go out and ride and see what feels better for her. In terms of the handlebars, I'm going to leave it right there. Just try to relax your arms a little. There we go. So you can see when she relaxes a little bit, gets a nice bend in the arm, keeps the back still upright. So actually, we're going to leave the stem adjustment the same as our 5'2" rider. We just changed the seat a little bit. How's it feel?
Feels good.
So we've got her in a good, comfortable position. If you want to hop off, we'll take some measurements. There you go. Okay, so stem is raised 3 1/2 inches, and the seat post is raised 2 1/4 inches. So we just dropped it a little bit to accommodate Michelle, but again, interesting, taller rider, lower seat. Let's move up to our 5'5" rider and see how we adjust for her. We've got Jewel with us now. Jewel's 5'5", 19 1/2 inch arm length, 30-inch inseam. Jewel, why don't you hop on? Let's take a look. Okay, cool. So you can see way too low for her. Feet are flat on the ground. We need to bump up the seat. So hop off. Let's go ahead and adjust it. Bring it up about 2 inches. Right about there. Okay, give that a shot. Still a little too low, actually. I think for the sake of this bike, which is more geared towards speed and performance, we want to have ample leg extension on the downstroke with the pedal. So let's bring it up just about another 1/2 inch. Okay, try that. Cool, I like that better. And you can see Jewel's also wearing some really flat shoes. It's something to pay attention to. If you're really concerned with dialing in your bike as good and specific as possible, it's likely that you may want to adjust your seat up and down depending on the thickness of the sole you're using. So in this case, she's got a really thin sole. If she put on some gym shoes, she may even want to bump the seat up a little bit more. So put your foot on the pedal for me. There we go, looks good. And actually the arms, we've got the stem about as high as it can go, so there's not really much we can do there other than tilting it. But in this case, the tilt looks pretty even. Arms are straight, back's upright. I like the adjustment. How's it feel?
Feels good.
Cool. Okay, if you want to hop off, we'll take some measurements, show you guys what's going on. So again, stem, 4 inches. That's all the way up. And then on the seat, we've got the seat up 4 1/4 inches. So it's a fit for Jewel, 5'5", 19.5-inch arm length, 30-inch inseam. Let's move on up to 5'6". Now we're here with Jessica, who's 5'6". She has 30.5-inch inseam and 19.5-inch arms. If you want to step on, we'll see what we need to do. So just for you. Okay, so definitely a little too high. You can see she's up on her tippy toes, so we'll bring it down just a little bit for her. Step off. And then let's get the pedals. There we go. Okay. Okay. That looks really good. Maybe you could raise it a little bit, but for sake of comfort, we'll leave it there. And could you put your foot on the pedal? There we go, pat her feet. So she's got a good leg bend. It'll be good for downstroke, acceleration, but she's still comfortable to stand. And then in terms of the handlebars, it looks pretty good. I mean, we have it pretty high up already. Her arms have a nice bend. She still has a straight back. I'm not going to touch anything there. How does it feel for you?
Good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's a fit. Let me get you the measurements so you guys can see. So we have the stem raised up 4 inches. And we have the seat post raised up 2.5 inches. So Jessica's a fit at 5'6", 30.5-inch inseam, 19.5-inch arm length. Let's move up to our 5'7" rider. We're with Lynette now at 5'7". Lynette has 22.5-inch arm length and 28-inch inseam. Lynette, if you could please hop on, we'll adjust for you. Okay, so definitely too low on the seat, and we need to get it raised up. So if you want to hop off. Okay, if you could try that. Okay, I like that. We could maybe, if she was trying to ride for speed, we could raise that up just a little bit to get her more power on the downstroke. But again, I'm trying to adjust more for safety and comfort. So that looks good to me. She's still going to be able to balance good. If you could put your foot on the pedal. So actually, that is a little bit too much of a leg bend. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? If you could hop off for 1 second. We need to get these pedals down. There we go. Try that. Okay, there we go. So that's a lot better. You can see, now you want to get the pedal in the down position, and you want to see how much your leg is bent when you have the front pad of your foot there, because you don't want it hyperextended, but you want to have it just bent a little bit because it's going to give you the maximum thrust when you pedal downward. So that looks really good to me. In terms of the handlebars, let's see. I'm going to bring them up just a little bit if I can. Now the stems have a max adjustment height. There's a little line. We're very close to it. It's right there. I'm going to put it... Oh. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try to get that as high as possible because as we raise the seat up for her, it's actually bringing her farther away from the handlebars. So that looks really good. She's got a nice bend in her arm, relaxed wrist, no kinks. What we've done is just taken a lot of the tension off of her joints, and she still has an upright back. So it looks really good. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Cool, perfect. So if you want to hop off, we'll take some measurements. Okay, so we have the stem raised up 4 inches, and we have the seat post raised up 3 3/4 inches. So it's a definite fit for Lynette at 5'7", 22.5-inch arm length, 28-inch inseam. Let's move up to our 5'8" rider. We now have Sydney, who's 5'8". She has a 21-inch arm length and 28-inch inseam. Sydney, if you want to hop on, we'll see what we need to do to adjust for your height. Cool. So looks pretty good. Can you put your foot back on the ground? So are you sitting all the way back too? Yep. Okay, cool. So she's up on the front of her foot. It looks pretty good to me. Put your foot on the pedal again. So that's a good bend. It's not too straight, also not too bent. That would be a great size for her. So we nailed that with the seat post. In terms of the handlebars, let's see. It looks pretty good. Now again, as I've said, as we get into the taller segment of women, 5'7", 5'8", and up, there's some options on the stem. We could potentially give her a extended length stem, which is going to bring the bars up, bring them closer to her body. But this still looks okay to me. For this type of ride, the Reach Your Destination, it's more geared for performance. So we're trying to adjust for as much comfort as possible, but there may be a slight lean or more tension on your arms than some of the other comfort bikes, like the Every Journey and Cruisers, Body Ease, things like that. So just relax your arms a little bit. There we go. And you can see shoulders are back, slight bend in the arm, no tension on the wrist. It looks really good to me. How's it feel for you?
Feels good.
Cool. If you want to hop off, we'll take some measurements. So we've got the stem all the way raised up at 4 inches. And we've got the seat post from the bottom of the seat clamp at 4 1/4 inches. So definite fit for Sydney at 5'8", 21-inch arm length, 28-inch inseam. Let's move up to our 5'9" rider. We are here with Sydney now. Sydney's 5'9", and she has 22-inch arm length, 31-inch inseam. So if you want to hop on, let's see what we need to do to get the Reach Your Destination fit. Okay, cool. So you can see seat's definitely too low. Her feet are flat on the ground. We need to get that raised up for her. So if you want to hop off, you have to bring it way up, probably right about here. Try that. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. So on this bike, obviously, Reach Your Destination, it's geared more towards speed, performance, distance. So you're going to want to make sure you're getting really good leg extension on the downstroke. So if you can put your foot on the pedal, yeah, so just a little bit of a bend, but enough. So she's not hyperextending, but that'll be able to let her really thrust down on the downstroke and pedal fast, gain speed. So I like that a lot. In terms of the handlebars, I think this is great too. On this type of ride, you can't always look for a perfectly straight up and down back because this is a little bit more of an aggressive riding bike, a little bit more for speed. We want the rider to be comfortable, but we want them to be in a aggressive enough position to gain speed, things like that. I just said speed like 6 times. But so you can see her back is pretty much straight up and down. Her arms still have a slight bend, but they're not, totally relaxed and they're not hyperextended. So to me, this looks like a good fit. Feels okay?
Yeah, feels really good.
Cool. All right, if you want to hop off, take a measurement. And again, if the rider doesn't, if you don't like the tilt, you can always play with the tilting of the handlebars. Personally, I like to try to keep them balanced parallel to the ground. So we've got the stem all the way up at 4 inches, and the seat, from the bottom of the seat clamp, it's just a touch under 5 inches raised. So you can see we need to raise the seat pretty significantly to accommodate for her to accommodate for her to have proper leg extension. So Sydney, 5'9", 22-inch arm length, 31-inch inseam. Reach Your Destination is a fit. Let's move up to our 5'10" rider. We are with Keely now, who's 5'10". She has a 22-inch arm length and 29.5-inch inseam. Keely, if you please hop on. Let's see what we need to do to adjust. Okay, so looking at her foot, she's got her foot a little bit too flat, so we're going to bring it up about 1 inch or so. Handlebars look okay right now, so if you want to hop off. With the quick release, it's really easy. Just pop over here. Let's try that. Okay, that looks great. So she's up on her foot, not too much. Put your foot on the pedal for me. Move your foot. There you go. Yeah, right about there. That's a great leg bend. Again, not too extended, not too bent. It's going to be great on the downstroke, good power. And then in terms of the handlebars, so we have the handlebars all the way up. Her arms are relaxed. You can see she's leaning forward just a little bit. So as I've said before, one option if you really want to have a complete ergonomic ride on this frame, there's two options. One is to change the handlebar for her height and her inseam. You could change the handlebar, which would bring the handlebars closer to her body, which would pull her shoulders back, or you can do an extended length stem, which will raise the handlebars and push them closer to her body because she's having to reach down just a little bit. Now, that's okay on this type of bike because it's more geared for distance and riding. It's better to have the rider in a more aggressive position because you can go faster. But again, I'm trying to adjust for comfort, so those are a couple tips we can take. But I would still say this is an absolute fit for Keely. It looks good. Her arms aren't like hyperextended and she looks fairly relaxed. So how does it feel?
I like it. Feels good.
Cool. So if you want to hop off. Okay, so we've got the stem all the way up, 4 inches, and on the seat post, from the bottom of the seat clamp, we have it raised up 5 3/4 inches. All right, so it's a fit for Keely. Let's move up to our 5'11" rider. We are with Lucia now, who's 5'11". She has 23-inch arm length and 30.5-inch inseam. Lucia, if you want to hop on, let's see what we need to do to adjust for you. That rhymes. All right, so let's see. Can you put your foot on the pedal for me? It's a little too much bend. We're going to bring the seat up just a little bit. Let's see. So again, there's a max height on all these seat posts. We're going to see how high we can get it. There we go. Try that. Perfect. Okay. So now we've got the leg bent just a little bit. That's going to be great for power on the downstroke. If you put your foot on the ground too, let's see. So she's up on the front of her foot. Not too much though, enough where she can balance. So I like that a lot. Now, the one thing I've said, she's going to be leaning forward just a little bit, which is okay on this type of bike because you're crouching a little to really get more power. When you go into the road bike sector, you can't always have an ergonomic ride. Now, we try to structure our bikes to be as comfortable as possible from the geometry. So, as I've said before, one option is to get an extended length stem, which will bring the handlebars up and it'll allow her to pull her shoulders back and keep her in an even more ergonomic position if you're going for entirely comfort. But in terms of exercise and distance, this is a great position. She's just got a little bit of a lean forward. She's, ready to work out or exercise on this bike, which is good for the reach your destination. So I'm good with it. I like it. How's it feel for you?
Feels good.
Okay, so if you want to hop off, we'll take some measurements. Okay. On the stem, we've got it raised up 4 inches. And on the seat post, we have it raised up 7 1/4 inches. So it's a fit for Lucia at 5'11", 23-inch arm length, 30.5-inch inseam, and there's some customizations we could do to even make it more comfortable, but with her current fit, it's great for more aggressive riding. So let's move up to our 6-foot rider and see how we can adjust for her. We are with our final woman, who is Jade. Jade's our tallest rider at 6 foot. She has 23.5-inch arm length and 32-inch inseam. So Jade, if you would please hop on. Now, I've already put the seat to the absolute highest position that is safe. So we can see good leg extension, good bend, not too bent and not overextended if you put your foot on the ground. And she's up on the front of her foot. Now, it's possible to raise the seat a little bit more for her. If she was really concerned with speed, we could probably just raise it another 1/4 inch, but this is okay from a comfort casual perspective. And there are extended length seat posts that are an option if she does want to raise it up more, but I would still approve that and say it's a fit. In terms of the handlebars, we have them all the way raised up. She's still got her shoulders back. She has, 23-inch arm length, so she's able to reach. They're a little bit, all the way extended, which I generally try to keep it a little bit more comfortable. Let's see if we can tilt it up to just relax her arms a touch. So just keep holding on there. and then tilt it up. Try that maybe. We don't. Okay. Didn't do too much. It gave her a little bit more bend in her arms, which is good. Now, one thing we can do on this bike is you can buy an extended stem. If we did that, it would actually bring the handlebars up here, and it would allow her arms to be in an absolute relaxed position. Now, in the more aggressive road biking, your arms are going to be more tense. That's just the nature of the riding position because you're trying to go faster. So on the Reach Your Destination, it's one of our bikes geared more towards performance. So this is an okay riding position for that. I mean, she's, working out her body a little bit more. So if you like commuting or exercise or things like that, this is an okay position for Jade, even at 6 feet tall. If she wanted to be a little bit more comfortable, but she likes the frame, she likes everything else, I'd recommend an extended stem, and you guys can reach out to us and we could help customize that for you. So how does it feel for you?
Feels good, yeah.
Cool. So let's take some measurements if you want to hop off. Okay, so for Jade, we have the seat post maxed out on height, which is 7.5 inches. And we have the the stem at 4 inches. So everything max height range for Jade. And what this is telling me is if that you are 6 feet with a 32.5-inch inseam, this bike will not work. Or if you're 6'1" with a 32.5-inch inseam, it will not work. Now, if you're 6 feet, 32-inch inseam and below, it'll work. And there's some other customizations we can make to make the fit even better. Thanks for watching the body fit video for the Reach Your Destination. We've just custom fit the Reach Your Destination to women heights 5 feet to 6 feet. If you still have questions about fit for your body, please reach out. The team at sixthreezero.com or reach us by phone 310-982-2877. You can also take the body fit quiz on our website. It's at the top. It's going to ask you some other specific questions about your riding type, other places you're going, and it's going to help get the bike fitted to you. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.